Hey guys, Dr. Brian Opp here from Opp Family Chiropractic right here in St. Francis. And this month we're talking about brain health, okay? Often we get a lot of patients in here with concussions. That's one of the number one things that drives people in because we do a lot of work with them. We work with nutritional stuff, which I'll talk about today. The adjustments that we do helps with the brain health as well too. We do a lot of other things, cranial sacral work, which helps. Sometimes dry needling when there's injury to the muscles there, often at the base of the skull. That's usually going to be the most common area. So we have a lot of different ways to treat these concussions. But a lot of times what gets treated is things on the outside, right? So what I talked about is adjustments, dry needling, massage, any kind of tools that we might use to help with the outside of the body, right? But rarely do people talk about what's going on the inside. So that is what we're going to talk about today. So when you get a concussion, often we get inflammation in that brain, and we also get inflammation in the gut. And people forget that there's a connection from your gut to your brain and your brain to your gut. The signals from your gut goes about 90% of the way up to your brain, where it's only 10% when your brain is talking to your gut. So you have to start to make some decisions on what you're going to do and take to be able to help with some of those things with those patients that have concussion, okay? The number one thing, there was a great book called Brains Collide. It was written a few years ago, so I always reference this with patients. It was a military doctor who obviously dealt with a lot of PTSD patients in the military who had concussions, traumatic brain injuries, things like that. And he stumbled on fish oil, not really stumbled on, but fish oil had been long talked about for inflammation and great for the brain, right? And so we have a little protocol that we use with those patients that we get from that book. So it's high dose for about a week or 2 weeks, and then the dosage gets smaller and smaller as we go forward. But it's helped patients immensely. So with fish oil, you have two portions to it. You have EPA, which is more of the inflammation stopper, and then the DHA, which helps feed the brain. Whenever we get a concussion, we get inflammation of the brain, and then we need to be able to feed that brain to help it recover, right? So giving that fat. There's only so many things that will also cross into the brain to help with that inflammation, the fish oil being one, as it gets made into the anti-inflammatory part, but also curcumin. So we often use curcumin to be able to help put out the fire there. The curcumin will help put out the fire in your gut because that's going to start to have some inflammation from that concussion, but also in your brain. So we do that as well as we start to transition to a smaller dose of the fish oil. When somebody's got a concussion, I try not to overwhelm them with a bunch of things. So when we're starting with the fish oil, that's the only thing I want them to take because I really want them to be able to just feel the effects of that and concentrate on that one thing only. Other thing that we use is creatine. Creatine now has been shown to be very useful for the brain. So a lot of my patients who come in and they're fatigued in their body, they have fatigue in their brain, we just double the dose what we normally would do for somebody who's going to work out, right? The standard dose with creatine is 5 grams. So we just double it. So I always tell the patients 5 grams for your body, 5 grams for your brain, especially if you're sitting, like having to make a lot of decisions, you're at a computer, you're just doing a lot with your brain. And that gets to, people will talk about decision fatigue, right? It's because your brain starts to lose that energy. And so you can't make decisions very well as you're going forward. So creatine is great for that brain health as those patients are getting better after those concussions. So if you guys are dealing with concussions, we have multiple ways that we attack it so that we hit the inside of the body and the outside of the body to help you recover faster. Thanks, guys.